All right. Going to be testing this to make sure we have audio. I'm sure you guys will let me know. Okay. That's working pretty good. Move this back. Control plus this side up. Control plus this one down. That's not what I want to do. Windows. Well, I don't really need to see that part, so I'll just bump this part up. Okay, y'all. I don't really have a specific plan for today. I'm just going to fiddle around with this a little bit longer. I want to get my bracket so I can mount the GPU. It's so big that I actually have to shift it over, so I've already done that part. I need to drill a hole in that. I don't know what I was thinking. I had not ordered enough cable combs, so I'm going to order those and get them in on Monday. And that's when I'll finish it off, which is the day it's shipping. But I did get the fan installed. So the fan is now in there. And it looks pretty cool, I think, that way. That big old 120. I also made a gasket around it to give a little bit more pressure. So hopefully it's going to work. I think it's going to. I'm not too concerned about the whole thing. So I'm just going to take this off. And once I get all this done, I want to take a look at 2 video cards, do an unboxing, and talk about maybe putting them in the mini with brickless builds in the future. So I'm just doing my basic end of the day stuff here. Nothing too exciting. But I figured that we'd talk and I'd share that with you. If you're watching this stream after it's already done on demand, make sure that you enable chat by going to the top right corner of the screen and clicking all messages, not just top messages. That way you can follow along as I try to follow along and answer questions, because that is the fun of these streams. So it is good to be with everybody today. Who do we have in the stream? Anybody I know? Yes, lots of people coming back today. Hey, Frederick. How are you, John? How you doing, man? Jaden. Robinson Joe, good to see you back. Also, one other thing I'm trying, my camera outputs 4K over HDMI, but my capture card is just 1080p. So I've actually set the camera to 1080p today in hopes that maybe we get a little bit sharper of a stream. I'm not exactly sure, so you can comment and see if you think it looks a little bit better today than yesterday. Can I build a Pelican Pace build for ultimate travel? This has been done. It actually has been done by my last company as well, and there's a lot of people that have done a really good job doing this. I don't really see me doing it in the future. I have a friend who's working on right now that's really good, so that just doesn't, that just ain't me, you know? But there's nothing wrong with that. All right, well, where was I at? I don't think I have the... Can you see the top of my head? I can't really look from here. Not that you need to see the top of my head, but I try to give as much room. Well, look at the back of the camera. Well, I can't do that. That's stupid. What am I thinking? I can't look at the back of the camera and see if my head is there. How dumb is that? But what I can do is that. Okay. Well, I'm going to take this bracket off and try to drill a hole for it. I also messed with, I have this Teradek cube, the Cube 255 from one of my previous jobs. It is a wireless HDMI encoder / streamer majigger. And I was thinking that maybe I could put on the camera and then I could take the camera off and then I could go into the shop. That way we could stream and actually do real work. But I've been fighting with that all day long, trying to get that to work. Well, not all day long. I was just distracted trying to get that to work. Man, I really got these in here, didn't I? It's gonna be really hard to drill these in. I wonder if I epoxied them in as well. Who knows what I would have done? This is a long time ago. Okay, that's turning. I want the other one to turn before I take that one out. Oh yeah. So the water pump on my wife's Pontiac Montana, which is a terrible vehicle, went out. But the good news is that it was really cheap. It's like the cheapest water pump I've ever bought. It's like 23 bucks, which was less than the cost of the Dextron fluid. So that was good. Robinson Joe, I didn't really catch the first part of your topic, but now you're talking about drilling holes for G1 quarter fittings, and that sounds interesting. So you got to recap for me. Recap in one big chat post. Oh, I hope I'm not doing the wrong thing here by taking this out. Because if I don't get this back in here, nice and stiff, it's actually not even flexing at all. Okay, good. Whew. Hey, Sean, good to see you, man. And not only is it not over yet, we're just beginning. Although I don't plan for this to be super long, but you never can tell. Oh man, I'm scared to go further on this. It's not getting looser. Fast enough, anyway. Nope. Scary. Starting to strip this second one. I don't know what I did. But I think I have to put it back in because it will go back in now, but it's not. Do I have any leeway to move this around, or am I just going to have to keep it the same place? I think it's just going up and down, not laterally, which is what I need it to do. Yep. Thank you all for encouraging me to do these live streams in the comments. Jonathan Doe asks, will you do a My Editing Tech Gear video? Like what you use to edit, camera you use, mic? I can do that. That would be pretty easy. That's super easy. Hey Fabio, they might not have warned you that I was starting, but I like just started. So at least you caught me. I'm now battling these little Allen stainless bolts I have that wanted not to come out. So I'm putting them back, and I'm just going to have to drill it the hard way, which I'm not looking forward to. Okay, at least that's rock solid again. A maple leaf shaped ball turn reservoir. Ah, that's pretty cool. I have never drilled glass before, and I know that glass is not a universal material. So let me know how that turns out. The 3D printer is still broke. I think I have all the parts. I wanted to get to it today, but it had so much stuff to get done, and I didn't get it all done. So I'm kind of procrastinating. And tomorrow I have to fix the minivan, and if there's time, I'll work on the 3D printer, but there rarely ever is time. All right, so really what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna remark this with my metal marker. Get it where I want it. I'll do it a couple times. And I'm going to get this little guy. Protect my power supply from steel shavings. And I'm going to try to drill it as it stands. And this, of course, it's sturdy, it's stiff, it's steel, but with the drill right there, there's going to be some vibrations. It's going to make it very difficult. On top of that, I think that this, which is my 3/32 drill bit, which I use for M3, is getting a little bit dull. I need to buy another one. I should write that down, actually. I'm going to buy another one when we get off. I only buy really nice drill bits because buying crappy ones is just totally not worth it, but even these, this one lasts quite a while. This one's several years old now. But, you know, I drop, $8 on a drill bit like that. I don't know where my pin went to. All right, so where was I? I was procrastinating. This is gonna take a while. I mean, this is really gonna take a while, and I'm probably going to not be happy camper, so I don't have a sensor to bleep me out, and it's gonna be loud probably, so you might wanna turn your volume down. The trick to drilling steel is going really slow, and also putting as much pressure as you can, which is wearing me out because I am not very tough. I generally use lube as well, but I'm not doing it right now because I don't want to get all over my desk. We are 1/18 the way there. This is the last time I'm using this drill bit, so I'm not bothering with the lube. Okay, we are 1/64 the way there. It's getting worse. Drill bit's not getting hot enough because I have the right speed. I don't know if I have another 3/32 drill bit right now. Certainly not a good one. It'd be worth looking if this takes much longer. If I look weird, I'm bracing myself against this because, again, the trick to drilling steel is to have a lot of pressure and slow RPM and just torque it out. So that's why I'm bracing myself like this. Okay, we're making some progress finally. I don't know if I'm going to be frosting the back. It actually looks kind of cool, I think, with the glass going all the way through. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to frost the bottom part of this yet, though. But I was thinking about frosting this bottom part and then reverse etching my name and the mod's name with my etcher behind it. So that could look pretty cool. It also might look terrible. And there's no coming back from that. We're about a quarter of the way. This would have been a lot easier if I was able to get this bracket off. Put a lot more weight into it. We're almost halfway. It gets to be a lot easier the further you get in. Ah, it's hurting my hand. Can't imagine a more interesting live stream. Me drilling this one little hole for 8 minutes. Oh, making progress. Almost there. All right, let me get rid of this metal dust and pick it all up. Ugh. Oh, I think I hyperextended my elbow on that. Ah. Pain. Using a magnet to get all the metal shavings, because we don't want metal shavings on my work mat for electrical conductivity purposes, and because I put minis down on here and I do not want to scratch the mini. That would be very, very, very bad. Ah. What did I miss in chat? Probably not a lot, as I was drilling for 8 minutes. I should use lube on my tap, but I'm not going to use an oil lube. I'm just going to use my Novus One, which is amazing, amazing stuff. This is what I use, again, to clean plastic and rubber surfaces, acrylics, that kind of thing. And it's just lubey enough for my tap. Now, any kind of oil-based lube, I say oil-based, but I'm not a chemist, so I don't really know what I would call it, but WD-40 would work better. Marvel Mystery Oil, which I love, would work better. I have actual machine lube. I have CNC stuff, Vactra 15, which is awesome. But this is going to work fine for me. Just something to get it wet. And there we go. Go all the way through. I'm going to clean off the tip so when I back out, I don't mar my threads. Get my handy dandy magnet. Ooh. Clean up the back side a little bit. And there we have it. Now, I didn't want to use oil because, one, I'm working in my office and I didn't want to get it everywhere. But two, I'm going to touch up this bracket in the paint that I have for it before Monday. So, it makes it easier to clean. Alrighty. Put this in its proper place. Ugh. And there we are. Nice, stable Remiel. Now that everything's bolted together too, I'm feeling a lot better about this center of gravity issue. Again, my cables are not done. They are going to be completed on Monday, or when I get my cable combs, which should be Monday because I'm rush ordering them. I could print some, but it's down. There was someone in chat like freaking out yesterday with good reason to that my power supply tape was all showing and everything, but I had to get the power supply in the right place before I was done, and I figured out exactly where it needed to be with the cables and all that. So while Remiel is not done, she is done for today. Now I'm going to get on doing other things that I need to get done. And I will start by cleaning up my desk. I don't think we'll be finishing Remiel today. I don't think I'll be finishing Remiel on a live stream, to be honest. Just kind of how it goes. But there's just so much, like, I spent an hour working on the cabling to get to where it is now, and I'm going to have to spend at least another hour trying to get everything perfect for photography and all that. And that's super boring stuff because I'm really into it. I'm really looking at it. I can't look at the chat, and I have to look at every single wire, you know, and it's not conducive to a live stream. That's why I moved this. Better place for it anyway. Hey Sander, I appreciate the donation, man. To avoid clearing up the main channel, I can unlist these videos and make them into a playlist. Oh, that's kind of a cool idea. Yeah, I don't really know what to do about it. On the one hand, it seems like I should put the content on the front page. But on the other hand, all my other work is really, I don't want to say high quality, but you know, I put a lot of work into it and it's not the same content. So I don't really know how to organize it yet. So maybe I will just unlist them and put them into a live stream thing. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. You guys enjoy my actual real videos better, right? That should be my channel focus, I think. No, this should go here. Maybe I should face the razor blade out. Yeah, there we go. Hey Tyler. Well, I'm sad to say we went to Chili's because margaritas, and my wife and my mother-in-law wanted to drink margaritas. I just wanted to drink water. And it was like totally packed, and there was like one server. I felt really bad for her. And it was like a 2-hour getting margaritas adventure. I think we got our waters like after 30 minutes, but we got to hang out and talk, so I'm going to do better next time. And looks like you're already contributing to next time. I'm going to go to one of my favorite restaurants down here on the coast, which is Cafe New Orleans, which is... My wife likes to get alligator, something with alligator in it, and I just get whatever was caught that morning, so... All good votes. Thank you for inputting your thoughts on how to organize my channel live streams versus the other production. I really don't know how to do it. I haven't made my mind yet. Oh, that doesn't go there. No wonder it doesn't fit. Okie dokie. I'll put this. Here for now. Ah! Oh, that hurt. And I don't really want to move it to the other side of the desk, but I think I will. Well, I have to work on the 3D printer tomorrow, so I'm just gonna leave this here. And we'll just kind of shift over a little bit and I'll open up the stuff. So we'll start with the Sapphire Vega Pulse, because I think it's part of the story. Sapphire and I have kind of a friendly relationship. I've talked about them many times in the past. They're a great company with really good people. We're friends. I mean, we're really friends. It's not one of those relationships I have with other companies where I might be acquaintances and we all get along and we go to the same expos and stuff. But Sapphire, they're actually friends. Like, I know people personally there and we have lives outside of business personally. And they help me with projects and I help them with projects. That's kind of our relationship. I'm only talking about this for the sake of disclosure when I recommend Sapphire products. I don't usually get, I do paid work for them on occasion, like design work. But as far as doing something like this, I'm doing for free, and then they help me out with, you know, sometimes I ask for a video card or something like that for a build. So they have never, ever, ever, ever asked me to do like a review of a product. I've always done reviews because I've wanted to, and I've not done reviews on products for them that I didn't particularly like. But I wanted to talk about the Radeon Vega 56. So Sapphire, sadly, they weren't going to do a Vega Nano, which is odd to me because they have some of the best thought out small form factor AMD graphics cards. Like, for example, their 285 ITX, which I should go get right now, actually. The Sapphire Compact. This is how you do a small form factor graphics card. I mean, this graphics card, of course, based on the 280, is a ridiculously hot chip. It's just not a good candidate for a small form factor graphics card. But at the same time, Sapphire made it work. They kept close to the same clock rates, close to the same memory clock rates. The cooler is phenomenal. It's a very, very well-designed cooler. Lots of really fat heat pipes. Really big base. It has a vapor chamber in it. It's really, really well designed. It's very high quality, metal parts all around, really good venting on the back, a single layer of I/O, so you're not blocking a top layer where you really, really need to vent in an ITX. Good venting on the front, no stupid plastic, gamery look stuff to block venting. A shroud that actually works with the fins going front to back, not transverse, which is not what you want for a very small compact card. A very quiet, powerful fan, and a big thing too, it has the power connector on the end. Now, these are all things, also, it is an oversized card, but it's really not too bad. It really is not too bad. I would say that maybe it's almost a quarter inch, not even a quarter inch, it's like 5 millimeters oversized. So really, this is how you do a graphics card compact, I think. Phenomenal job. But they didn't decide to do one for the Vega Nano. And it's kind of a bummer because check this out. This is the Pulse Vega 56, and look at the graphics card. You see the graphics card right here? This is the graphics card. It's actually shorter than the 285. I mean, I don't have my tape. I have my tape stick right here. It is just under, it is 6 inches. It's pretty much 6 inches. You can type that in Google to find the millimeter conversion, but 6 inches. Kind of a bummer. Now, this card is probably going to run really hot. Not to worry, it has a massive cooler on it. It is a really interestingly designed cooler. I really do dig it. Several different layers of isolated coolers, so you don't have the heat from the VREGs dumping right into the main cooler for the GPU die. So you can see it right here. It's what's called stacked cooler. Double 8-pin on the side, which, you know, doesn't matter because the card is really super long, but it's in the middle, which I personally like. I like the look of it when it's done in the middle. It's very, very rare. You only see it on short cards. Of course, it was a really short card I want at the end. But I'm going to put this down. Let's see what you guys' thoughts and stuff on this are. And then, okay, what do you want me to call it? Vega? Okay, I'll call it Vega. But no, I can call it Vega. I mean, I already look like an idiot, so why not follow through to the end? I do have calipers, but they don't have batteries, and I need to make a trip to go get them. All right, let's go answer the questions. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The only question in there, besides making fun of me for not saying Vega properly, is where am I on the coast? I am on the coast. The water is like 100 feet that way. So I am definitely on the coast. That's what's so great about living in Mississippi, is that you can get property that's really on the coast for next to nothing. I was paying for a basically 1-bedroom apartment in a really rundown place in Tacoma, Washington, that was in a very bad neighborhood, and I have a house here on the coast in Mississippi. So talk about a difference in living expenses. Anyway, the Vega Nano, which is over here, I will open up next. But it was just sad to me because there's so much potential here. So much potential here. And Sapphire has such a good pedigree that I am disappointed that they didn't come up with one. I guess after years and years and years and years of using this card, and with how dusty and dirty it is, I can peel off the protective stickers. Goofy Josh. Okay, now we're going to talk about the Vega Nano. This is made by Power Color, and I wish that I had more production value going on right now, but there was a review done on this card, which Craig from Compact Design linked me before he sent me this, which, see, I actually like this kind of packaging, this boring cardboard, because easily recyclable, even though it looks not professional. And the potential of this graphics card blew my mind. Not only could you get it to about 1080 performance, which I had to ask again, 1080 performance? I thought that was Vega 64. But you could get this card to about 1080. Now, of course, that matters what you're doing, what application you're using. But not only that, the leeway that you had for power control was really amazing. And I'm thinking that this graphics card possibly could be powered off the new HDPLEX 400 watt AC/DC power supply, which I am very excited to try out. That would be the first thing that I do when I get that power supply. Now, you might say, okay, Josh, why does that matter at all? Because after all, who cares? Because there's connectors on the side. And yes, that is unfortunate. It'd been much better if Power Color put them on the end. If they'd put them on the end, this would be exceedingly simple to drop into an S4 Mini with the HDPLEX 400. But there may still be a way. Now, I don't necessarily recommend this. This isn't like a build that I would put on my BOM sheet. I mean, maybe it'll work out. The stars, if the stars align, but it's still something that I'd want to try out because other people are going to want to try that out too. So there might be a way. So let's look at the actual cooler design. This is not as interesting to me, although not terribly designed, as the Sapphire 285 Compact. It has a pretty deep base. I think that it possibly could be a vapor chamber base. I'd have to look it up. I do not know much about this card at all, but it does look like a vapor chamber. It has fins that run across the front and the back, which is great. Has good exhaust, though they could have done a much better job with the cutout in the back. I mean, you don't really need a lot of strength here, so why not just bring this all the way down? Because see this bar right here? That's actually blocking a lot of the exit for the air. And the front as well, it's kind of strange because the heat fins, as you can see, they don't actually carry over all the way down, but they're chopped out. And I think that's for making room for the connectors, which by the way has an 8-pin and a 6-pin megafit connector. But I think they could have designed this a little bit differently. It's all metal design though, the shroud's really good. I have no idea if the fan is any good. And what's kind of interesting as well, I dig this. It is so old school looking. I mean, there is nothing, no graphics or anything, just a bent over anodized aluminum shell. Completely boring, completely black. I dig it. I don't think I'd dig it if this was the only thing in the industry, but it's a breath of fresh air. Sean Cree says, yes, it is a vapor chamber base, which it does look like. I'm gonna scroll up and answer some more questions if I can, or comment. Blah, 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 blah. Elliot says, to get the Nano not to throttle, you probably have to undervolt and maybe underclock. And that is true, but what I've seen so far done is really impressive. I don't want to spill the beans too much right here. I don't have notes with me. I'm not a technically minded person. I'm just a person who likes to experiment. And when I'm on camera, I get nervous too, and it's the end of the day. So I don't want to talk technical stuff right now. I just want to talk potential. So I'm actually going to get into potential right now. Click my little down button. Now, there's some questions about 1080 versus the Vega Nano in a Mini. So why would you want to put this graphics card in if the 1080 is a little bit better and it's going to run presumably quieter because it's going to be less power hungry, and it would definitely run off the HDPLEX 400? Well, there's two reasons. One, the Zotac is not going to fit. It's an oversized card, so it will not physically not fit with the AC/DC HDPLEX 400. And two, the biggie, the power connectors are on the side, so you couldn't plug it in anyway. But all things equal, you'd probably want to go with the 1080, unless you have very real reasons for using an AMD GPU. If you are a content creator, AMD GPUs are looking better and better every day. There's some DirectX 12 software programs that look really, really good on AMD. And of course, FreeSync. That's a question I get asked all the time. A lot of people invested in FreeSync monitors before they, NVIDIA kind of crushed. I'm talking about that. But there are some reasons. There are definitely some reasons. I'm interested. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna shut up and actually do some work. I have a Mini, which I need to depanel. Oh, let's put Ruby here. I don't know. We need to include Ruby in this discussion. I don't have a Dawn. If I had a Dawn figure, that'd be pretty cool. I wish they were posable too, then I could have Dawn and Ruby duke it out. Kudos to you if you know who Dawn is. Or Ruby, I guess these days. Suleiman Kabali says, hey Josh, I know this question is off topic. Will you carry the new Noctua NH9i Chromax edition? I will use whatever my customers want, but I don't mind that color scheme of the Noctua, so probably not. Doesn't Gigabyte have a 1080 Mini? Gigabyte does have a 1080 Mini. The length is not the problem. Again, it's the height. It's the height of the graphics card. And the Gigabyte 1080 Mini, the MSI Aero, they're all really massively oversized. Almost by, I believe the Gigabyte's almost 18 millimeters oversized, which is huge. And the MSI Aero, I'm not quite sure, but it's also really huge. So it wouldn't fit. Again, we have some length to spare in the Mini. We have 215 millimeters to spare. And we decided that this was how many millimeters long? I'm not quite sure. But the problem is the width. I guess for the sake of the video, I should take off the bezel so you guys can see kind of what's going on from the front. I think I'll do that. The GTX 1060, another great card, and my personal favorite combo with the HDPLEX 400 because it would just work out of the box. You don't have to worry about overheating or anything like that. And that is definitely my goal, and that applies to this card. So if you want to think GTX 1060 or Vega Nano, even though the Vega Nano is much faster, for the purposes of this demonstration, let's pretend, put our magical imagining hats on and pretend that they're the same card. Take this off before I scratch my Mini. And I'll take this out too. Just so you guys can see as best you can. And there's Tom Brown with It Just Works again. I too find that meme funny. All right, I'll put this over here. All right, I do not have an HDPLEX 400, but I do have an HDPLEX 160, which is oh, there it is. My NFC edition calipers. That don't have batteries, but it's okay. I'm just making sure here. $40 millimeters. So, I'm gonna pull up Fusion 360 and I'm gonna look at the HDPLEX 400. To confirm that the HDPLEX 400 is also 40 millimeters thick. So this will work for our test. The HDPLEX 400 is just longer. So I can move this to wherever I want. So I'm gonna see, is this gonna line up if I put it in the stock space? Indeed it is. So all I'm gonna do here is work on this for a little bit. So I'll move Ruby over. Now, you see the problem. If we put the Vega Nano in, and we drop our HDPLEX 400 in, the problem is there ain't no room to plug anything in, and it's covering the connectors. But, now, I did have this saved for a video or a live stream. I'll definitely make a video of it later. But somebody on the forum today basically posted what I was going to be doing in the video. So the cat's out of the bag. If you take a look at Carry On Cables, it's a company that makes special weird cables by modifying other cables. But basically the cable that we're talking about today for this is not even really a Molex cable. It's just wires that plug right into the sides of these power connectors via MiniFit Juniors and are bent up and around. We can try that right now and see if it's going to work. So we have our MiniFit Junior cable. Take this guy out. Move this guy over. We plug him in. We don't have any room here. We have about 4.5 millimeters of cable sticking out. So what we do is we would go over here. We'd get some heat shrink. Put it right up to these the edge right here. I don't really know what these things are called. I'm just going to call them longhorns. That's the official NFC name now for these two little ridges that pop up over a MiniFit Junior connection. Longhorns. There went my doorbell. You see where I'm going with this? Hey Tegan, how you doing, man? We have now made a right angle MiniFit Junior connector and insulate it with heat shrink. Now Tegan's already done this because he has one of my ridiculously rare, super awesome Skyreach S5s, which we're not going to talk about too much because I'm not really making them. But I decided I wanted to choose between that and the S for him. So look what we have here. That is nothing, ladies and gentlemen. That is two millimeter of space with the heat shrink on. Now, if we had to rotate these diagonally in order to fit them all and still keep a low profile of 2 millimeter, not overlap where it get to be 4 millimeters or maybe best case 3.5 millimeters. So we can kind of rotate them here at this angle like this, which you can't see on camera. We're going to come down, move this up like that. Drop this guy in here. It fits perfectly. We're not talking bending the card. We're not talking pushing anything out or bulging it. I mean, it fits perfectly. So provided that the HDPLEX 400 is going to be able to work with this card, properly set up, properly tuned, and you know the risks of doing what I just did, because, you know, if something comes out, that's a bad news bears. But I wouldn't have a problem running this, especially afterwards you lock it down with some electrical tape and it's sandwiched between here. It ain't going anywhere. But again, this is not one of my recommended BOMs, and I don't think I'd build this for a customer either. I'd assemble it for him, but I wouldn't sell it as a system. But this is more than doable. More than doable. It's very, very exciting. It's just too bad that the Nano didn't really make it itself a little bit longer or put the cables at the end of the connector. That would have been really great. I really don't even know what other Mini ITX cases there are that it would be affected by putting the cables at the end. I mean, there's some really low run production chassis that are extremely low run, maybe something from Custom Mod, but really the Mini is pretty mini. So, but kudos anyways to Power Color for making a Nano. I kind of got the feeling that Sapphire was considering it. I hope that they reconsider, and I hope that they make one too. But this is this is gonna work. This is gonna work, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm really excited to see what the performance is going to be like. I hope that you guys are too. I don't have anything else planned for today's stream. I just have some administrative work to take care of, so I'm gonna get on that. But I wanted to wish you guys a fantastic weekend. Maybe we'll do some streaming. Maybe I won't, because I have a lot of broken stuff to fix. But it was definitely a pleasure streaming with you guys today. And I'll take a couple question-ish statements now before I turn it off and see what's going on. How much room is on the other side of the Vega Nano? I'm not quite sure what you mean by the other side. Where the motherboard goes, that's just plugged in. On the back side, you can see, gonna fit like a charm. Shout out to the forum. Yeah. Small form factor network. These are all some interesting statements. But calling it sketch, I don't know if it's sketch. This is just mini ITXing. This is small form factoring. So with that in mind, shout out to Small Form Factor Network. Wait, so is that cable just like Molex cable stripped with the plastic plugs? Yeah, that's all it is. Bent up at 90-degree angle and heat shrinked at the end, so the end contact does not shorten anything out. It's gonna work like a charm until it kills me or somebody else. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining the stream.